We all play video games every once in a while, and over the many years, some really strange stories have come up regarding some of the most popular video games in the world. Let's take a look at some of the really weirdest ones. Berserk. Now, this game has actually been officially linked to deaths. Berserk was an arcade game in which you fight legions of robots before fighting the final boss, a smiley face by the name of Otto. Jeff Daly died playing the game in 1981. A year later, Peter Burkowski was playing. When he finished, he took a few steps and collapsed. He died, stone dead, right there. Both were ruled as heart attacks. Elder Scrolls 4: Oblivion. This story comes from a person claiming to have been the temporary project director of the game development department for Bethesda during the making of Elder Scrolls 4: Oblivion. This story revolves around an unsettling incident during the final quest of the Fighters Guild storyline, titled Infiltration. During the quest, you're tasked with going undercover to a rival guild to learn their secrets. There, you have to take a hallucinogenic drink named Hist Sap before killing a few goblins. When the drink wears off, it's revealed that you actually killed people, supposed to horrify the player. During testing of this mission is where things get weird. An emergency meeting was called, with the animator saying the mission was coded perfectly, but horrifying things would happen that weren't meant to. The animator replays the mission for the entire team, them all falling silent. It starts out normally, only when they were watching, the quality was grainy, unsaturated. As the character walks towards the settlement after taking the drink and killing the goblins, a man appears in the middle of the road. As the character moved closer, he appears to distort. Facing the character, his face appears grotesque, a mess of random and horrifying placements. The sound goes off, replaced with a buzz and cackle. The character then looks to the left and sees dead children, suspended in the air staring at the character. Moans begin to be heard. Then the screen flashed and the character is transported to some kind of void. 6 minutes pass with nothing happening, and many leave the meeting room, shaken by what they saw. Then gibberish begins to be heard, with strange symbols appearing on the screen. The voice gets louder and louder. The character then begins to randomly spawn across the map, and all NPCs are dead. This is the point when the lead designer Todd Howard urged them to turn it off. The character is then spawned in the original village, when a man spawns from the ground with black eyes, saying, "You did this. You did this." Over and over, louder and louder. The video then stops. The person who told the story left Bethesda 1 month later, and he never touched Oblivion again. Fallout 3 has several radio stations. One of them is named Galaxy News Radio, and under the right circumstances, it can be turned into a numbers station. A numbers station is a radio station that broadcasts coded messages. They are real, and they were used during the Cold War. Apparently, if you killed the host of Galaxy News Radio, skip the quest titled Galaxy News Radio, and destroy the Enclave base Raven Rock, Galaxy News Radio will turn into a numbers station. Here, the dead host recites seemingly random numbers. Morse code translators have discovered the meanings behind them. Some are mundane, I washed the car today. Others are more insidious, including predicting the real-life Gulf oil spill to the day. Others claim the Queen has died, that Britney Spears will win an Oscar in 2023, and others are suicide messages. This one is very creepy. This urban legend revolves around the Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind and a mod named JVK1166Z. Popping up a few years ago, it was thought to be a virus at first, as the game crashes upon installation. It was never posted to the popular Elder Scrolls forums, it was sent via PMs. If you ever got past the frozen home screen, all saves would be corrupted. No one knew what to do with it, and eventually people forgot about it. About a year later, the poster of the story received a PM from a random person on the Morrowind forum, saying that if you tinkered with it, you could get JVK1166Z to work. The game would be slow and saves and loads wouldn't work though. Once you started the game with the mod, a message comes up stating, "The prophecy has been severed. This is related to the main quest, so the game cannot be finished. Instead, you just roam a doomed world. Another thing is that the player is losing health slowly. Then the player notices something startling. A black figure roams the world, walking on all fours like a spider. Occasionally, he catches glimpses of him darting around a corner, or on the ceiling, or in the distance. Also, once in a while, the NPCs will walk outside and say one thing: watch the sky, before returning to their normal routines. A new dungeon was also discovered. Inside were picture frames with pictures taken from the player's My Pictures folder. Inside the dungeon was a locked door. People who would get this far reported to be obsessing over getting in, with some even hallucinating and seeing the black figure in real life, tapping on their window, or waking in dreams to see the figure in their face, screaming at them. The horrifying thing about this mod is that it appears to be real. This story originated on 4chan and tells the story of a user who received a Nintendo 64 cartridge with Majora's Mask written in black marker on it. Upon starting the game, a save file was already in the game, titled Ben. Ignoring this and beginning the game anew, all NPCs in the game would call his character Ben. When he deleted the Ben save file, the game went nuts. Music would go backwards, and his character would be followed by a statue with a horrifying smile. Eventually, the Ben file appeared again, along with another save file, titled Drowned. Everyone, it seems, except for me, played the Pokemon games on the Game Boy in the 90s. However, when the red and green games dropped to enormous popularity, it correlated with an extraordinary statistic. There was a spike in suicides and illness in children ranging 7 to 12. The Lavender Town music was said to be the source of these problems. The tones of the music would cause headaches, nausea, and supposedly suicidal tendencies in children. The music was changed when it was shipped overseas, but it can still be found online. Like, right now.